What's something else that we know about trailers? Well, I started selling trailers in 1992. And I fell in love with them. I did. In fact, that's what sparked my interest in learning everything that there is to know about building, because I saw how these mobile manufactured homes were built, and I thought, wow, what a cool thing. They roll this sucker through this big shop, and somebody jumps in there and builds a floor, and then sends it on down the line. Somebody slaps plywood on it, and then it's turned upside down, and it's crazy how all that stuff, the frame just goes rolling through there, and they just stop at a station and bam, walls come sitting down, and gosh, it's crazy. So I got very enthused about that, and I wanted to know more about how this stuff was built or whatever. Then there's another thing. All those mobile homes that they were selling in the early 90s, I guess even in 94, I was still selling, so I must have done it from the early 90s through maybe 95 or something like that. But what was so amazing is how they could take something so cheap, and I'm talking about an accent of some kind, and they could do something so cool with it. The way they would set half walls to accent an area, or they would come out with a couple of little columns to designate a dining area. I mean, give me a break. That is too cool. And it didn't cost hardly anything to do that. I remember one time, one of those homes that we sold had like the dining area had two columns set out in the room that marked the the perimeter of the dining area, and then from the side wall of the trailer to the column was an arch, and then from that column to the other column was an arch, and then from that column back to the other side wall was an arch. We're talking like mega cheap to build this, and it made it look like $1 million. So anyway, that is how I got fired up about trailers, because we lived in them my whole life, and I don't think I ever paid any attention to, I'm sure they were doing that kind of thing back then too. But the way they would take these cheap things and these little seemingly, it's like taking nothing and making, I don't know, it's like taking nothing and making something really cool out of it. They really did good with that kind of stuff. Wainscot, they would put wainscot in a room, and that's not that expensive to do that, but it made that room look like $1 million, Of course, all the colors were sort of in line with what was really popular. Like I noticed today when I drive by and see mobile home sales dealerships or whatever, there's a lot of earth tones and things like that. Well, in that era, in the early 90s, that real rich burgundy and hunter green and taupe and stuff like that was what everybody was going for. But anyway, that's one thing that I love about the manufactured home industry, is the way they take something just very insignificant, and use it to make a home that people could be proud of. That's all.